Here we are again.
We're back. No, not we're back. You're back. I know it's sunny. I was doing my head in, so I can just. Oh bloody hell! That is squinty, that, isn't it?
You need your shades, dude.
I know. Where have you been?
Been away.
It all fell to shit about you.
Been away messing up videos.
Yeah, I know. You cock up even when you're not here. Oh, boom, boom.
Did 'em.
So, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday.
It is.
Is it Wednesday? The 16th, just for everyone who's taking notes. And you haven't been here for ages. I've been here, but a lot's gone on. So, let's have a wander around and see what hasn't happened.
Let's do it.
I don't know. We try to film videos and people are working on cars. Staff members, mate, you can't get them. And when you do get them, they just...
Hang on. Shut up!
I know. So, it's a Wednesday. And that just means that I have no idea where I am. So, let's go from the top. When was the last time you were here, Davla? You were off all last week, weren't you?
It was about 10 days ago, dear boy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, that was in for a service and a pre-track inspection, some tyres, and that's all been done. That's a pretty little thing, is that, in nice. That colour. Yeah, yeah, so we've banged some P4S's on it, the go-to now, to be fair. Serviced it, gone over it top to bottom, and the owner's picking that up next week. Juden has done another Lotus, because he is the Lotus King.
Look at that, it's a nice colour, that.
Yeah. The Greek twin turbo is, we've just got engine parts on order, so we're just waiting on those bits.
Is that one there?
That is that one. So we've got rods, pistons, valve train come in. Then when that's here, we can strip it. There's no point taking it apart until everything's here. It's just, you just end up with, well, when you go inside, you'll see what I mean. You just end up with boxes of bits everywhere.
We have Mitch waiting to get in, by the way.
We have. PPP, this one is doing our head in because a customer can get it to misfire and we really struggle to get it to misfire. But when it misfires, he says it's undrivable. So we're just gonna have to keep playing with it to see if it can happen. But it's being a bit of a pain at the minute trying to get it to come out.
Yep.
This one nearly broke me. So he nearly broke me. No, this one nearly broke me. So this was, yeah, if we move out of the way so we can come in.
Yeah.
Someone's got to earn him some money.
Morning.
No one's watching this.
Always chatter off that boy.
Yeah.
So that turned up with gearbox warning light on, wouldn't engage second, fourth, sixth. So diagnosed mechatronic unit, put a mech unit in it, and it was fine. Would go through basic settings, no warning on. Would drive it, and intermittently would slip in gear.
Oh.
Like. It would be mint, 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 and then all of a sudden it would, rah, off it went. Well, it's obviously not a mech. It's easy enough to swap a TCU, so we went through all that, and then I logged hydraulic pressure, I logged everything, went through it top to bottom. Nothing was out of sync, nothing was out of sorts, it was all behaving. But if it was a clutch, why wouldn't it do it all the time?
Yeah.
Like, it should slip all the time. And it's like 15 hours work to drop a gearbox, put it back in. It's like $2,000 in the clutch. It's a big gamble when you're not like, oh, it's a clutch. So we basically donated out of everything I've got in the workshop. We donated everything onto that car. I even was like, well, maybe it's because it's mapped. We went hunting for a pedal booster. I flashed the TCU back to stock, the engine ECUs back to stock, just to make sure it wasn't that. But you'd literally drive it and it's fine. And then all of a sudden you put load on it and it'd slip. But it wouldn't do it all the time. It would sit there, go through basic settings, no warning lights, no nothing. Car thought it was behaving perfectly. And it got to a point where like I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet here. So we put a clutch in it last week and it's mint. And it's not that I didn't think it wasn't a clutch, it was just, how do I go to the customer, I think it's a clutch, and not have any data to prove it's that, because it's a $5,000 job.
Wow.
Plus fixing the other problems as well.
Yeah.
So we've sorted it, it's done. Honestly, it nearly broke me. The only thing I can think of is is actually, it was a piston, not the clutch. So the clutch is built up in a basket, and inside it there's pistons, and they move up and down with hydraulic pressure, and it's all in the unit that you sort of install.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think of, is that it was actually a piston rather than clutch plates slipping.
Yeah.
So,
But this
yes.
ties into what we were saying in a recent video, isn't it? With being able to
diagnose,
repair.
Yeah, logged everything, and it was literally, like I said to you, I said, look, I said, it's taking time. I said, it's not nice. A faux pas. It's not nice. I know you're in a rush to have it back, but I would much rather spend the time crossing things off my list and come to you and go, that's the only thing left, which is what we did, rather than me go to you, let's bang a clutch in it, and then we drive it down the road and it still does it.
Yeah.
Because either, well, someone sat on a load of money then. So anyway, it's sorted. We've serviced it, gone over it top to bottom. It's ready to go back, so that's fine. George has dropped off a load more stuff for his RS6. When you go inside, Carl's saga has started, and we'll explain that because I think we're going to do a little bit more. Honestly.
Oh, he's up again.
So, honestly, they're all knobs. They're all knobs. Mine is my RS6 is on the ramp, then George's is going on, and then the saloon's going on. So we've got a big juggle around to do.
Yeah.
And I'll explain that when we go inside. I don't know if you can hear any of that, so I'm just going to stop for a minute. And he drove away what I was going to talk about next.
We'll have to do that one inside.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So my RS6 is inside. Once I've stripped off what I need to do on my RS6, George's will go in because we're swapping bits off the saloon onto his, because he wants to keep some bits off his Avant because he's going to sell it, and he wants to put them on a saloon, which he's going to keep.
Onto this one.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So it'll be all right. I have a load of bits. Yeah, and then I've put a load of bits on mine, which we go into because that broke again. Don't buy RS6. J14 DCY. This has a horrific noise coming from power steering pump, and you can put a stethoscope on it and it sounds like a power steering pump's falling out of it. So we swapped the pump and tested the pump, and it isn't the pump. See, this is what I was saying when you go back to now about the gearbox one about parts. So we said it was a pump, so now I've got to sit in a steering pump because it's not fair to charge a customer that. And basically, it's the inside the back of the engine, there's an auxiliary drive unit. So the bottom chain comes off the bottom of the crank, comes round, and it feeds the oil pump drive, the power steering drive, and the AC compressor. And it's that, and that's what's making a noise. But this is what I'm saying. I've never seen one of them fail. Or I've never seen, it'll be something like a chip out of a tooth, because it's like a click, 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 click when it's running.
Yeah.
So we'd had the pump, we'd played with the pump, we'd done everything, and literally put a stethoscope on it, and it sounds like it's about to fall out the bottom of the engine. So we were like, right, okay, we'll go for that. We've put it on, it hasn't fixed it. So, yeah, now we need to take gearbox out and pull the back timing cover off and change the auxiliary drive unit, which the auxiliary drive unit is cheaper than a pump. There's a lot more labour in it, but I can't charge a customer for something I've said it is when it isn't. And that's, you've just seen a good and you've just seen a bad, and that's how it works in business, right?
Let's have a quick look at that one then. So that's that one there.
The one behind you we'll keep a little bit quiet because there's a bit more going on with that, but people have probably seen it in shot. But that's a big project going on for someone, but we'll go into that more later. But loads of stuff's turned up for that. CV15, this was one we had on the dyno, and it was like 80 horsepower down. 80 horsepower on one run, it was down. He's just bought it, and we need to find out why. So he's dropped it back. It's in two-wheel drive mode, but someone's blown the front diff on it, or the front coupling on the diff. So we found that on the dyno, and we found his lack of power, so that's got to come back, so we've got to sort that out.
It's this one here.
Yeah, that's been run on a dyno in the past.
Yeah.
It's been run on a non-linked four-wheel drive dyno, and it's burnt the front coupling out because we see it quite a bit, so that's fine. This one turned up, wouldn't run, messes around, doesn't do stuff, and someone's opened both ECUs, not sealed them, and honestly, mate, they're like kids' rattles. Oof. So they rattle, they're full of water. Before we even start, before he can even diagnose whether there's anything else wrong with it, he's got to drop $5 grand on ECUs because they're both monstered. don't take your car to Muggles to get them tuned. That's what he's done. Or whoever owned it for him, he says he hasn't owned it long. They've taken it to some tit who does it mobile tuning in a van.
Yeah.
You can't tune cars in a van,
Yeah.
right? You just can't. Anyone tells you they can, they're full of crap. So unless you're buying Revo, APR, or EcoTune, a known entity that is a tried and tested flash remap, and they can show you results, don't do it. Don't do it. Because some muggles grabbed hold of these, split them open, because on certain ones you have to, what we call bench them, where you can't read them through OBD. You've got to read them by going on the chipset. Opened them with a jackhammer, split chips off inside, haven't sealed them up properly, bent the backing plates, and then because the spider ECUs sit here, yeah, they literally sit there. If I open that rear lid, they sit there, they're half exposed. Mate, the breather vent on top of the ECU snapped off one of them. And we literally took them out, and it's like, runs on like 4 cylinders, gets warning on dash. I said, I'm not touching it, I've got to put a set of ECUs on it. We looked for used ones, but they're not that easy to find. And then you've got to have the right software level and stuff like that. So, pair of ECUs, £5,000 for a remap. So yeah, FBT's done, he's delayed collection another month, so I'm the storage yard for that. Porsche is in for Jordan.
GTS?
Yeah, he's doing full film. I think he's got to do full film on that. The Maserati, we've had the shift actuator back, so we're in the middle of putting that back together at the minute, putting the gearbox back in. This one has a random intermittent misfire, but I can't get it to do it. So we test it and test it and test it. Customer says it goes into cylinder shutdown, so we're trying to find that. The Golf is stripped and the head's gone off. The TTRS is stripped and I've got a new block coming, which we'll show you down in a minute.
Yep.
And should we go inside, mate? Because this sun's killing me.
Let's do it.
I know. Really sweet.
Ew.
Oi, oi! Do you want to be on a video, Sienna? No. Do you want to be on a video, Jack? Jack will be in it. You alright?
Yeah.
You're going to drop bars? You're going to rap like you do in a van? No? You're not going to do it? Oh, H in it. AJ Tracy, that.
AJ Tracy.
What's his name?
Takey.
Alright.
Come on,
I don't
Dad.
know, mate.
Get
Listen
down
to
with the
Metallica.
kids.
What else is going on? Matt's just taken one for, he's done an exhaust valve and brake fluid change this morning. He's just taken one for wheel alignment.
Yep.
This one is, we're just about to scope out the injectors to make sure the ECU is firing. We think it's an injector, but we've got to take manifold off. So second we've done that, we can't test it. So
Yep.
we're going to scope out the injectors. If it is an injector, we're going to change all 8. Customer's given us authorization to do that, so that's fine. The 600 LT, we've serviced it, done the scuttle, done the windscreen, done the bonnet. We just need to give it a clean and give it back to Alex, so that is fine. That's ready to go. And Juden is a busy bee. Say hello, Juden.
Hello, Juden.
No, doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Turn it off. Come on, get in the video. Come and join in the
fun. It's a big one.
What, the van or? So I got my bullshit blockers on.
They don't work. You're most of the reason for the bullshit.
Oh, don't know about that.
Did you ride last week?
Did I ride?
Yeah, Wednesday, wasn't it? You went out?
Yeah, Wednesday, back to Grittenham.
Grittenham.
Yeah.
Were you a hero? There was a good photo of you, like one-handed over a jump.
Well, you know. I'll get it out this Saturday as well.
Did you crash? Did you?
No, my name's not you.
Actually, nothing to do with me. The crasher in his place, mate. He stood over there.
He's listening.
Yeah. It's the only time he does.
Go back to his hole.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Where is he? Hello.
Carl's slightly more realistic today because I'm making him do RS6s.
Oh, hang on.
Great.
So he's not less realistic, he's more realistic.
More miserable.
Yeah, that's what he says, isn't it? He's not miserable, he's realistic. So he's more realistic today.
Should we go and see what he's actually up to?
Yeah. He wanted to be in charge of project work, so he's in charge of project work. Now he's complaining about.
I don't remember that. You said we weren't doing RS6s anymore.
I said we weren't doing RS6s, and look what happened.
We got more of them.
Yeah, so I don't want to make money anymore. I don't want none of that. No money.
Yeah.
We don't want to work on cars at all.
No, that's wrong. Now we'll get more cars turning up.
So what are you selling today, sir?
Cheap tools.
Honestly, mate. What was it said yesterday? I'm looking for a hammer, and in your toolbox is just a brick that's tied to a stick.
A snap-on brick.
A snap-on brick. Yeah.
So talk us through the RS6.
So this was my RS6, which I'm going to blame Coxie for, just because it's easy. He broke it, I lent it to him, come back and started smoking. In all fairness to him, I had the turbos rebuilt when I first got it, and it never really were happy, were we?
No, it drove mint, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it always was a bit smoky.
Yeah, if you parked it up and left it, it would puff smoke. It would just on start up, it would be anything from a little puff to James Bond style. And we kind of kidded ourselves. Well, we didn't, because we actually found a problem, didn't we? So in the back of the oil pump, which Carl hasn't got out, we get oil pump out.
Just for the viewers, the noise in the background is
Jordan working for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. You want it there. So on a V10, sorry, it is a V10. On an R8 pump, you don't have this section. So this is what's called the scavenge.
Yeah.
So what this does, this is the turbo scavenge. So what this does, that takes oil from the right-hand turbo, that takes oil from the left-hand turbo, and when the engine's running, it's basically drags oil off the two drain tubes, pulls it into the main pump, and then the main pump scavenges it back to the tank. So that's what it's for. In the back of this is a little one-way valve, so that when the scavenge is sucking, it can push oil through, but then when you turn the engine off, and the oil drains back down into the crankcase, it can't fill these lines back up.
Yep.
And when we took it apart first time, didn't we? Or after the second time, once we put new turbos on, we found the valve was knackered. So I got a new valve, put it in, because you can't buy them, put it in, and we thought, oh, mint, and it didn't fix it. So what we've done now is I've managed to get a hold of another pump, another complete pump, which I don't think it is, but I've got hold of a pump, I put a complete pump on it, and I got another pair of turbos.
Okay.
And I've had Litco rebuild the turbos.
Okay.
So he's done those. My turbos that have come off are going to TTE, are going to Simon at TTE, and they're going on George's.
Okay.
So then he'll have those basically. So we've done oil pump and turbos. And what else? That's about it, isn't it, really?
This time, yeah. We did everything the first time.
But it's mint. But it would just puff smoke when you started it, and it was really starting to piss me off. And the telltale was when you take the turbo tubes the turbo outlet tubes into the intercoolers, when you take those pipes off, there'd be oil in them.
Right.
So that's why we were starting to think more and more it was turbos.
Yeah, we did PCV, didn't we?
We done PCV, we done one-way valves, we done everything. And it just kept doing it and doing it and doing it.
And I guess that goes to show again, doesn't it? You know, with something like this, you've got to get the bloody engine out again.
Yeah. Well, I haven't.
How do you feel about that?
I like doing these now. I've done so many.
RS6 specialist. Yeah, it's just...
But look at the size of it. I mean, let's be honest. It's
like
a unit,
just to
isn't
take,
it?
right, just not all we've done. All right, you can take out, because I bought 2 new boost valves just in case, 2 new N75 valves, but all I've bought for that now is exhaust manifold gaskets, turbo gaskets, drain gaskets, all the bolts for the subframe, bolts for the prop shaft, bolt for the drive shaft, and it's 600 quid.
Wow.
Just in bits.
Yeah.
Like, that's without all the little extras you'd want to do, coolant pipes if you want to change them, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, it gets a pain in the ass. But... I'm banning tools. No, I'm not banning tools, then we never get any work done. Yeah, hand tools. So, yeah.
But, as we've said before, when they're running right...
I can't sell it knowing something's wrong with it.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I want to do, because it's mint.
Yeah.
It's mint. We've had Jordan done all the body work, the wheels have been done. Yeah. So this will go back in now.
Hard to get a picture of that now, but...
So
It is lovely.
yeah, once it's back together, once it's all back together, it'll go to sell.
Yep.
So if anyone wants a really nice RS6, I've just done everything on.
Yeah.
Give me a call. 76,000 miles.
Yeah, it's quite low.
It's low mileage.
There you go.
Yeah, it's really nice. Got TV.
But if you're going to buy one, you want one that's had
Everything
all this stuff
done.
Otherwise, you'll be doing it yourself at some point.
Well, this is going to be the point now when George's comes in. George wants to do that on his white one, so that when he goes to sell it, he can just go, everything's done.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
everybody
peace of mind.
knows what they're like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, should be alright.
Lovely. What's happening in engine corner?
Engine corner is.
See you later.
Good man.
I have a new TTRS block coming, and someone has bought. So basically, I've sold this block, the rods, the pistons, the valve train, because I said we might
Yeah.
do a build. Someone's just bought it, and they're going to go off and do all your machining work. That's fine. So that's sold. My oversized pistons are sold. My rods and my valve train, that's gone. So we've ordered a brand new stock block. Pistons and rings, basically.
Okay.
So it'll be a mint bottom end. So that TTRS will be trick when it's done. The guy who wanted to buy my Golf was really apologetic, but he's pulled out. He's had something come up, so when the Golf is done, that needs a home. So I'll have 3 cars that need homes. So if anyone wants one, give me a shout. But they'll be... I've already got another one lined up as well, which we were chatting about. But a lot of people now are reaching out with cars that need saving. Is that a right way to sort of, you know?
Kind of is.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. So we've got that one to rebuild. The goal. I think we showed.
Just while we're on the subject, if the viewers want to see more of that, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we were chatting about this. It's like, because I worry that the channel's too diverse.
Yeah.
So I worry that we jump from bikes to cars to walk-rounds to engines to technical stuff. And I've always really wanted to try and do the technical stuff, but me and you both know that takes a lot of organising, a lot of sorting.
Yeah.
How in-depth people want to go, I don't know. They always seem to be well received, but not have masses of views, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So everybody who watches them is like, that video's amazing, but 6 people watch it. So then the other side is, what's been our big hitters that we sort of, like that RS6 on a dyno, wasn't it? Do you remember when we put the saloon on a dyno?
Yeah.
Because we were literally like, what should we do today?
Yeah.
We put RS6 on a dyno and it blows up. But then, without sounding, are they my viewers, or are they just catching the algorithm and it's random people watching it? That's what we struggle to understand what's going on. Right. Heads are off. We got to strip them. I think in my head that was a video, because nobody's really done Murcielago heads before. Okay. So I think that's a video for me and you.
That'd be a good one.
We strip the heads. We've got to finish stripping the bottom end. The liners are here. We're waiting on the pistons. I'm going to sandblast the case. Sandblast the cases. Aquablast the cases.
Aquablast. There you go.
But they're absolutely scuffed to hell and back.
Yep.
The balls. Yeah, mate. I wonder if I can. You just see it there?
Mhm.
They're really rough.
Yeah.
So we've got liners to go in it, so that's fine. We're going to rebuild the heads. So I'll strip the heads, and then we can basically get on with putting that package together. We just went on pistons, which come from Lambo, so that's fine. The V8 is on the end of being linered, so the heads are done. We just need to put it all back together when the block gets here. But again, a lot of stuff will go through Aquablaster for that. And the Golf is stripped. So Kev at KMB Engineering has got the heads at the minute, and he's cutting all seats. So yeah, top end needs a bloody good clean. It's a bit coked up. Injectors are off being tested at the minute. If they're knackered, we just put a set of injectors in it.
Yep.
I've got the updated water pump to go on it. New valves, inlet and exhaust. New springs, because I don't want to take a risk with the springs. New timing chains, guides. A lot. So again, that'd be a really nice one when it's done, and it just needs, I'll get the wheels done, just give it some love, put it back together. So yeah, we've got quite a few cool cars to get finished off and done. Tavrish got Cannonball in America to do his LT, so I don't think he wants that engine anymore.
Okay.
So that'll end up being one for us to build.
Right.
So, smash the buttons. Don't tell me what I've done wrong this week, don't want to hear it. Tell us what you want to see. And then wave Kate. Hello. No, she haven't done it. Maybe Kate should present the videos.
Yeah.
Would that get more views?